everyone, I'm Aubrey, the Foodster chef, and today we are going beyond the box, thinking without the oven. So we're going to make two recipes that are made in non-traditional ways using our baking mixes. The first mix we're going to use is our brownie mix. And we're going to use the brownie mix to make this delightful mug brownie. So this is a great dessert to use if you're having a holiday party. You can set up a beautiful platter of ingredients with holiday mugs, and everyone can choose their own ingredients and make their own mugs, and you have a dessert in under 3 minutes. So here I have the batter that I've already made, and this is with 2 eggs, a 1/3 cup of oil, and a tablespoon of water. So to make the mug brownie, I'm going to take a scoop of the batter and put it in the bottom of this mug. And we're going to layer our mug cake with ingredients so you kind of get a bite of everything each time you take a scoop. So we're going to do a scoop of that, and I think I'm going to do some marshmallows. So put some marshmallows in there. This is a great activity to do with kids. They love to make their own stuff and choose their own ingredients. You could do this for a girls' night. Okay, second scoop. So these go in the microwave for 2 minutes, and that's for a gooey brownie. So 2 minutes is gonna get you a brownie that's kind of gooey in the middle, not set. And then if you like the brownie more fudgy, you're gonna put it in for 3 minutes. All right. All right. Now, so 2 minutes in the microwave is gonna get you this. I'm gonna garnish it with a little bit of powdered sugar. Look how pretty it looks. All right, let's see what it looks like in the middle. This is a great way to also do portion sizing if you love dessert and overeat dessert like I always do at holiday meals. Oh yeah, as you can see, it's still gooey in the middle. I've got a pecan in there. This is a really big bite. I'm just gonna take half of it. It's so good. So this is the brownie mix in the traditional way, but we get a lot of questions at foodsters.com about how to make our mixes vegan. All of our mixes are non-GMO and organic, and they come vegan, and you can customize them to any diet. Wow, it's so good. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to use flax meal as a substitute, but there are a ton of other ways to substitute vegan recipes using vegan ingredients. So if any of you guys out there have any vegan recipes that you'd like to see on foodsters.com, or if you have any other great ideas about how to substitute for vegan recipes, please let me know, and maybe you'll see them at foodsters.com soon. So to substitute for an egg, I take 1 tablespoon of flax meal, and I'm gonna mix that with 2.5 tablespoons of water. Now, growing up in Wisconsin, I did not have much experience with vegan cooking or vegan baking, or truthfully, vegan people. But I've been in LA for 3 years now, and so I've really kind of learned different ways to substitute. I've learned different ways to cook with vegetarian, vegan meals, and this is my favorite way to substitute for eggs. So 1 tablespoon of flax meal and 2.5 tablespoons of water is gonna substitute 1 egg. So since we need to substitute for 2 eggs for the brownie mix, we're gonna take 2 tablespoons of flax and 5 tablespoons of water. So we just set that aside. It's gonna thicken up in 5 minutes or less, and then you just add it into the brownie batter as you would 2 eggs, and it makes a delightful vegan dessert. So we have our mug brownies, but now we need a Christmas dessert. And bread pudding is a very traditional Christmas dinner dessert, and it's usually made with stale and dry bread. But at foodsters.com, we sugarcoat everything, so ours is made with cake. So to make our vanilla cake, we're gonna start with 3 eggs. And I'm gonna scooch the mixer over. So we're gonna whisk these eggs. We're gonna add 6 tablespoons of milk. pause. And 6 tablespoons of yogurt. And this pudding is actually going to be flavored with eggnog as well. And so a lot of bread puddings use dried cranberries or dried raisins and put nuts in, and this is just going to be eggnog bread pudding, and then we're going to make a delightful glaze. And I have a surprise garnish that we're going to use that I'm really excited about. So you'll see that later. So we're going to mix the wet ingredients and then add the dry Simply Sweet vanilla cake mix. So once this is mixed, we're going to add it to 2 8-inch round baking pans that I've prepared with a little bit of butter. Magic of television. Okay, so we're going to just scoop the batter evenly between those. Yum. What are other traditional desserts that you guys like for Christmas? Does anybody make anything else other than bread pudding? Maybe you've added something else to a bread pudding. Has anyone ever used a crock pot to make a dessert before? This is the first time I've heard of that. Okay, so we spread the batter. Let's clear space. And then we're gonna bake it. So these are gonna go into the oven at 350 degrees for 30 minutes until the tops are firm to the touch and a little bit golden. So I have 2 that I've already prepared, which are right here. And now the second step to this is going to be to dry out the cake. So I really hate using the word moist, but our cakes are very moist and delicious. So in order to dry them out, we've got to cut and cube them and toast them in the oven a little bit. If anybody has any other words to describe a moist cake that we could use, that would be great. I will read all of the comments. Love to hear. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cube up this cake and toast it. And again, we're doing this because when we use the dry bread, it soaks up all of the custard that we're gonna make because it's dry. So we have to dry out the cake because we want our cake to soak up all of that yummy custard too. Ooh, Lila's tasting it. Lila, can you think of any other words to use besides moist?
Ooh, that's
moist,
a hard one.
delectable. I really can't think of any other moist words. Okay, so we're gonna bake this just for about 10 minutes at 350 degrees. The edges are gonna get brown. And this is also gonna help the bread pudding maintain its texture. If we were to put the cake in right out of the oven, it would just disintegrate with the custard and you'd have pudding mush. We want chunks of cake. We want to have the smoothness of the custard with a little bite of the cake, and drying the cake out and toasting it is gonna give you that. So, we're gonna toast the cake. Our cake is toasted. So you can see it still has the same color. It's just a little bit toasted, a little bit drier, and it's really gonna work well for the pudding. So here I have a crock pot, and I've buttered the entire inside of the crock pot. This is also a great dessert because it doesn't require, you know, the stove for a long time. You can kind of put it in the corner and forget about it while you prepare your other Christmas dishes. My dad is always in charge of our Christmas desserts, so my mom and I can take on the savory items. But this is a great and easy dessert to use if you don't have an in-house baker like we do at our family. So now I'm gonna make the custard to pour on the cake. So we have 5 eggs. And a good replacement to use that I just thought of, if you wanted to make this a vegan pudding is you could make the flax eggs to replace the eggs in the cake. And if you add a cup of pumpkin to this, instead of the 5 eggs, you could use pumpkin or squash or any other sort of pureed, you could use sweet potato. That would act as the eggs and make you a delightful vegan dessert. So, we've got 5 eggs that we're gonna whisk and add 3 cups of eggnog. Now, this eggnog is definitely not vegan, but if anybody out there knows a vegan brand of eggnog that we could use, that would be great. I'm sure that they have them. So we've got 3 cups of eggnog, 1 cup of milk, and again, if you're gonna make it vegan, you can use almond milk, you could use soy milk. Okay, and then we've got a tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Biodynamic sugar, of course. All right, so once that's mixed nicely, we're going to pour it in to the crock pot. And then we're gonna kind of smash the cake into the custard because we want the cake to soak up the custard before we start cooking it. We want to really set a good base for it. So we're gonna smash all of that cake in there. And then you put the top on, and in 2.5 hours or less, you're gonna have something that resembles this delightful slice of pudding. So this is a pudding that I made last night. It took about 2.5 hours to make, and then I just chilled it in the fridge overnight. So this is also a great recipe that you can make ahead of time. If you want to have your Christmas dessert completely made before Christmas dinner or a holiday party, you can make this overnight and store this in the fridge, and then to just warm it up in the oven at about 300 degrees for 20 minutes, and it's gonna give you a nice crispy pudding, and it's already made the day before. So I'm gonna slice this up. I'm also gonna make a glaze for this. So this glaze is gonna be using our powdered sugar frosting mix. And to that, I'm just gonna add a little bit of orange juice. I like doing glazes with citrus juices, whether it be orange or lemon juice. I just think it adds a really nice flavor than just using water or milk. So this is with orange juice. And I just have about 5 tablespoons of orange juice that I'm adding slowly because I don't want it to be too thick or too thin. So add it about 1 or 2 tablespoons at a time until you get to the consistency that you want. All right, we're almost there. You could also use apple cider for this. That's a great substitute and a flavor that would complement the eggnog. So we have our glaze. Woo! Perfect. So let's cut a slice. So this is one of those desserts where not every slice is gonna look the same, but I found in my experience that everyone likes a different kind of piece. My sister always likes the end pieces because they're nice and crispy. And I'm the person that would cut the middle out of that, and that would be my piece. That's the piece I like. So we're gonna cut it like this into almost like cake slices. All right. I think this one straight from the middle. Woo! It was so heavy with that custard, it just fell right off my knife. All right, so there's your piece of pudding. Oh my God, it looks so good.
I'm gonna have to try this.
Oh, Lila. All right, so we're gonna glaze it with our orange glaze. Yum. Okay, we need more glaze than that. That was a pathetic glaze. glaze going. And then to garnish, I have a gingerbread cookie that I made with our gingerbread mix. And I'm gonna take the cookie and I'm gonna grate it on a microplane for a little extra flavor and texture and color. Whew. All right, so I've gotta taste it. But I'll save you some, Lila.
Thank you.
All right. It's so good with the gingerbread cookie. I had it without the gingerbread cookie last night, but it's definitely better with the gingerbread cookie. You'll be able to find both of these recipes on foodstores.com. And for the next, and for a limited time, you can also find everything site-wide 25% off. So visit our site today and get your holiday goodies. We'll see you next time. Bye.